Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Alright, so I finally got the hydraulic oil pump for the Neighbours tractor. This one is an upgraded one. It has a hydraulic oil filter housing built into it. The location of the two hydraulic lines are in slightly different places, so we have to make some modifications to the original tractor lines. It's been kind of a hectic day of trial and error with this pump for the Ford 2000 tractor. We made up a line for one. I had to machine down a piece that fit in here because the original pipe was way too small, so I had to find a bigger piece, machine it down, and then get the pipe to fit in the new piece welded on. This hole is too small for the bolt to fit in the tractor, as well as this hole, so I have to drill these out. Beauty. Didn't get any aluminum shavings down there. Cool. So yeah, that's the piece I had to make there. And I also had to cut the line, rubber hydraulic line in there. It's just a return line, so there's no pressure. Hose clamps and stuff will be fine with that. Also, Dad has made some good progress with his flat deck here. I think I said he was extending it out. I think it was 18 inches, 18 or 20 inches. So he's got to extend this out and make it so that his forklift pockets, fork pockets come further back so that he can load a forklift up on the back of here. So we've done this with 2 trailers and now this truck. So he's getting he's got it down pretty well to a science. So it was just a matter of getting all the steel and getting it cut, measured and cut to proper length. So he's got the 2 ends on. He's got to finish welding inside, and the outside he's got it just tacked on for now. But he's got this one is fully welded on, so it's on here solid. So, and then finish up the wiring. And yeah, I think he's going to make it so it's like our Super Bs, so he can fit the 2 styles of forklift on there. One is the Spider forklift, and one is our Moffett forklift. So we'll make it so it's universal, so that if one truck has one forklift, the other one can carry the other forklift. Worked on the Super B trailer, so it'll work on here too. That fits in there. Cool. It's in there tight and can't come out, so that's good. Alright, so here's the new updated pump. It's on. This is the original line right here, the steel line. It would normally just go straight into the pump, but it's modified. They put the blue line on top is originally supposed to go where the silver fitting is, right below it, which is now where I put the new rubber hydraulic line. And it's in here, it's looped around, comes back up and goes to the original steel line, your pressure line. So it's on there, it bolted right up, other than the fact I had to drill this hole out and that hole up top. Alright, I'm just going to go check another place where Dad said that there was another beaver dam here. Oh yeah. Okay. It's still flowing. See if we can jump across without getting wet. Quite a dam going on here. They got lots of mud packed in there. We're working on that tree right there. You can see it's just starting to, they'll have that down later tonight probably if they're still around here. It's hard to say, but I don't think they've been here for a while. Wonder if trappers got them. But I don't think I'm going to wreck this one because there's supposed to be a drought this year. So this is where we're going to become frenemies with this beaver dam. They've been working, I don't know. It looks kind of old to me. It's dried out. Surprised. Usually they hate the sound of running water. They'd come and they'd plug it up right away. That's why I'm thinking they might not be around. There's lots of downed trees though, so I could be wrong. Could be wrong. See if we can get back across without getting wet again. I'm going to leave that one. Because we might use that to pull water from if we have to. Especially if the ditch starts getting dry on the front. I'm just going to check over the sprayer because I got to spray. And it's one of those days that can't make up its mind. It's sunny, it's too hot, and when the cloud comes over, it's too cold. First problem already. Flat. Okay. Everything looks alright. I'm not seeing any cracks. No broken nozzles. And this was my bad. I should have took these nozzles off in the fall. But I drained the lines really good, so I should be okay. We had to replace this a few years back. It broke. I think we had to weld this up again. I don't remember. But this knuckle, I think, was $600 and something. This is the original one here. I don't remember what happened, but I think I may have dragged the boom through the ditch and twisted it, or it just wore out. I can't remember. The ditch seems to sound familiar. All the other tires look okay. Just one, I don't want to drag it to the pad right now because if I do that, it'll break the bead on the tire and then I'll have to fight with that to get the bead set again. And if I had a shop out here, not a big deal, but oh yeah, that's right. My mixing, what the heck do I have going on here? This broke. I replaced it with this because it was supposed to be an elbow. Got the filter, rainwater in there. Need a new O-ring. This O-ring is cracked. Gotta make a list. Can't do a whole lot. I don't have any water to test it. So I'll check inside. And the lid's on tight. Now it's on the ground. Well, it's empty. Good enough. Everything looks okay. severe damage, so tank's still solid. I honestly won't know what it's like until I put water in the tank and turn it on. But in order to do that, I need water. And to get water, I don't want to pump it from the ditch because it's really dirty and I don't want to get dirt in there. I did that one time and I was fighting with nozzles for a long time. So I'll bring in a tank of water. It's just best to use clean water for this stuff. And I think Melissa might be here, so I'm gonna go meet her at the pad. All right, so I got Melissa and Pierre going. They're trimming and packing again. And I got rid of another beaver dam. The first one I showed you guys. And now I'm just back out in the field here and I'm gonna take some soil samples. That way we know what kind of fertilizer we're gonna need when we plant these fields and get them ready for seed, so we know what to expect. So I'll do that in a couple different spots in the field and then we'll ship that off and see what it looks like. If you're curious as to what the peat moss looks like when it's wet, there's still quite a bit of moisture in the ground here. But it's all broken down plant material. So yes, a lot of people complain, oh, it dries out too quick, it dries out too quick, but you know what? All the clay and the surrounding topsoil is dry and dusty. This stuff, only a couple inches down, actually only an inch, just under the top inch here, is all, it's wet, it's moist. So a lot of guys, they'll bash peat and say, oh, it dries out too quick or something like that. It holds the moisture. This field will probably stay wet for quite a bit of time. The frost is still coming up out of the ground, so as the frost is coming out, it's absorbing and sucking in all the moisture. It'll hold it for quite some time. I think I got enough of a sample in the bag here. I don't need that much, but I did a couple along the way, all the way to the middle of the field. This is all peat moss in here anyway, and this peat bog, I don't know, it's I'm gonna say it's a couple feet deep for sure. So a lot of guys will bash the peat sod and the peat soil. It's just like, well, actually they mix the peat moss in your topsoil that you're going to put in your flower gardens, in your lawn topsoil, anything like that, because it holds the moisture. If you had just plain topsoil, it would dry out very quickly. It wouldn't hold the moisture. That's why they put peat and they put some sand in there. We'll get a couple more samples from some other fields and see what time it is. I got to run back into town with my trailer and get water ready for the sprayer to do some testing on the sprayer. So this is field number 2 I'm going to test. This one, you can see right away, huge difference in the soil. This would be more of a clay base or a mineral base, if you will. It's very hard in here. It is hard like a rock. Let's see if we can even get the soil sampler in the ground. It's very hard in here. Takes a lot more effort to push into the ground. You can see difference in color. There's a little bit darker, there's some peat moss in there, and then there's clay. So a real mixture in here. This one grows good. It takes more time though. It requires a little bit more seed and care. But comparison speaking, and personally, I think the Kentucky bluegrass grows a lot better in the peat moss. It's a lot lighter, it's a lot fluffier. It holds the moisture when it needs it. Like, this stuff is dry. It's kind of wet. So here's a closer look at the sample. There's more moisture in there than I thought. But see how it just kind of clumps and turns into a little hard ball. It's still pliable. It's definitely clay. It's like potting clay, and then right there, that's when you know it's dry. Breaks apart. But yeah, top layer, definitely, top layer is like dust. So it's not the best soil for sod. So this right here, I'd say, is a good mix. There's peat in here, there's a little bit of clay. It's more of a nice topsoil. So this stuff is better. So you can see the difference in the ground from here to where I just was. Just 20 yards that way. It's a pretty big difference, but that's just the nature of the land. We have peat bogs around, and we have topsoil and clay mixes. So this field's always interesting because it'll grow sometimes, and then it won't grow, and then it will. So soil, and there's a lot more rocks in this field too. So there wasn't as much peat moss, natural peat moss, on this piece before. So we'll get a little bit better. This is nicer, much nicer. Most of the field is like this, but that was a huge difference between the other field and back where I was. Even here, it's got a little bit of moisture left in it. It's just nice. It doesn't clump as much, a little bit, but not hard like a rock like the other stuff. All right, just got back to mom and dad's. I got all my soil samples and everything all picked up and checking over some fields. I brought the flat deck home because I need the water tank on this trailer over here so I can test the sprayer.